Kimbo Slice says that Hannibal the Rising does not claim to be professional in any way, but is just giving advice from a slightly above average player to the rest. I cannot stress enough how important it is to work together as the infected and to attack at the same time with coordinated attacks. There are times when a solo attack can be useful, such as if a survivor has low health and you spawn your infected to swipe them down, or if you are picking off a divided survivor. The infected side is more difficult to play as because it requires more coordinated, well-timed attacks to be effective against the survivors. I strongly recommend that you play with a minimum of 1 or 2 friends, so you at least have one person working well with you. I also recommend that you have one person call the next spots that you plan to hit with your infected cycle, and also call the order in which the infected hit at. For example, the charger first, then spit, then boom, then jockey. The jockey. He can make quick work of separated survivors. The jockey does low damage while he rides, so he can carry away healthy survivors long distances. The jockey can also work well with the boomer, spitter, or charger. The jockey can use the boomer distraction to carry away survivors, ride them onto spit, or set them up for a death charge by lining them up for the charger. The jockey can also ride survivors into car alarms, incap them off ledges, and make quick swipe in runs on incapped survivor pickups. Okay, and this is the jockey car alarm ride. What you want to do in a situation like this where there's a car alarm, you hide behind the car because sometimes they'll shoot at you and you can get them set off. And you also want to jock them, like so, and jock them into the car alarm, like that, and then ride away to do as much damage as you can. It's very useful to your team, and it does good damage, as well as drawing it through. Okay, and another thing you can do with the jockey is, say a map like Dead Center, for example, like this first map here. What you can do is, you can actually jock one off the ledge to get an instant incap, and that's very valuable to do. Especially on a deadly spot like a ledge like this, because that sets up potential death charges, and the smoker below can also get another incap too. So that's more useful stuff that you can do. Also, if you're already pre-spawned and you just need to waste time, break some windows and shit, don't be useless. Because there's always a chance you can mess up the jock anyway. It's always good to have glass broken so you can jock through it easier, and you want all the doors clear that you can. Because there's a lot of death charge spots on this map, and you want to be useful to your team. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to jock from back here, and as they pass by, I'm gonna jock whoever I can get and get them right off the ledge. Like that. That's exactly what you want to do with the jockey. The Hunter, a perfect unit to lead an attack when the charger is not in your spawn cycle. The Hunter can gain additional damage by pouncing at great heights. The higher the pounce, the greater the damage bonus on the landing, with a maximum of 25 bonus damage. The Hunter is one of 4 incapper rules. The Hunter has to wait a short period of time to charge a pounce by ducking. The Hunter can quickly charge another pounce after an incap, unlike the other incappers. The Hunter can easily target separated survivors from their teammates. And for the Hunter, you can try and land high pounces like so. There's a 25. The Spitter, a great unit on tight spaces. The Spitter can harm multiple survivors with high damage per second. The Spitter is great to assist the incappers. The Spitter works best with a charger or a hunter because after the incap, the survivors are stationary, and once the spit spreads, it takes time for the survivors to get out of the spit. Spitters can also spit on survivors who are surrounded by common infected to do high damage. For example, if somebody is boomed on. Spits are also good for slowing down survivors by blocking off paths and separating them. Another key role for the spitter is to spit on incap survivors to stop their teammates from picking them up, and also spitting to stop survivors from completing events. For example, the gas cans on the finale of Dead Center. And another use that you can do with the spitter is to spit stall. You need to buy time for your teammates. See, now they're all on the other side of the spit, and you bought enough time for your team to go in. Another thing you can do is to spit on broom survivors. And when they're surrounded by horde, the commons can keep them in the spit. And that's how you can work with the boomer if you have no encounters. The use you can do with the spitter here is if you don't have your spit respawn, you can die in a doorway or something like that, just to stall to prevent the survivors from running through. Or if they do run through it, they'll just take additional damage from that, which is good. That's usually what you want to do with the spitter after you've already used the spit and attacked with your team. And with a spitter like this, what you can do is you can spit on somebody who's incapped like that to do extra damage, like so. See how the spit spread like that. And what I did there was I spit with the hunter because while the hunter is on him, it's doing damage, and then even when the hunter gets killed, as the survivor gets up, he takes damage, and as he goes out of the spit, he takes damage. The smoker shares similar uses with the jockey. The smoker is great for pulling survivors into danger, such as the death charge, car alarm, witch, or ledge encap. It's best to pull around corners or higher elevated ground to avoid being shot. Next up with the smoker is the car alarm pull. What you do here is you line up your pull so when you pull them towards you and reel them in, they touch the car alarm, therefore setting it off. You usually can pre-spawn behind the car alarm because if they shoot at you, they'll most likely hit the car alarm and you can duck behind it. You just don't want to pre-spawn if they have a Molotov, because they can Molotov by the car and it'll set you on fire. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull someone into the car alarm, therefore setting it off. And then your team will usually go in after that. So I'm just going to wait for them to go. There we go. And then that pulls them right to the car alarm, setting it off. And you've done the work for your team already. Okay, so for the smoker here, if you want to make good use, there's a witch there, and the survivors are headed towards her. What you want to do is you want to pull right into the witch when you get an opportunity. You usually shouldn't drop down like I did. That was actually an accident, but you'll usually want to stay up top and then pull into the witch. That's also what you want to do if someone's about to crown the witch. You want to pull into the witch so they can't shoot with your gun, and then you'll be good. Okay, I'm going to show you guys another trick here with the smoker. On this map, Dead Center, what you want to do is you want to jump to the ledge below. Say you don't have a charger first of all, because normally you'd want to set up a death charge, but if not, just use the smoker and then you can jump to the ledge below. If you miss the ledge, just hit E and you can respawn. And what I'm going to do now is you just pull and you get an instant incap like that. And if your team can keep them there long enough, you can keep recharging your tongue and keep getting free incaps. And that's one way to use the smoker on this map. Charger, the lead infected for almost every attack. The Charger has the potential to end a game on his own. The Charger's most devastating attack is his death charge ability to instantly kill a survivor by charging them off a high enough ledge. The Charger works well with a jockey or smoker because they can keep a survivor in a death charge lineup, making it easier for him. The Charger can also charge survivors into a car alarm or pick off injured survivors with their high damage secondary punch and charging afterwards. Don't fuck with the Charger. Okay, so next one for the Charger is the multi-charge. Here you want to try and hit multiple enemies if possible, like so. See, there I hit all 4 of them, which is really good. Normally it's better to punch damage-wise, but if you can get them all lined up like that, it's almost always better to charge. And what you want to do here, in a case like this with the Charger, you don't always want to necessarily charge first. What you can do is, if you see a survivor, you can punch them down because punches do just as much as a charge, and then you usually want to charge after with your primary attack like that. And in a lot of cases like this, it can end a game if they're in a bad situation like that. But with a charger, if they have maybe 30 HP or less, you'll usually want to swipe them. But also never swipe a survivor with a melee weapon, because they can take you out very easily and very fast. Okay, and this is the witch charge that you can do. If you see a situation like this, where you can potentially charge them into the witch, you gotta go for it. So you gotta time it when they go through like this. You can charge them right into the witch, and it should set her off. And that worked out well. And here with the charger, this is the car alarm charge that you can try. So when you set it with your team, you wait. Sometimes you gotta pre-spawn because they can break through the glass and just drop down. Then you can hit the car alarm with the charger, set it off, and also do some damage. But it's very valuable to do with the charger, especially if your smoker messes up or your jockey. You have nothing to set the car alarm off. Okay, next up is the infamous death charge, and what it is it's an instant kill once you charge someone off a high enough ledge. You can also get in-cap charges from high enough ledges, but this one should be a death charge because of how high up it is. So you basically, there's a lot of spots you can get. Usually you'll want a smoker or something like that to set you up. But you just line it up out the window. It's not that hard, especially if you have like a smoker or jockey. And you just get them right out the window. Like there, I did good because I also battered 2 other survivors. And that does damage to them. Plus I got the instant kill. And that's very valuable to do.